I will read directly from the tweet 36 minutes ago from Shams Charania. Phoenix Suns all-star Kevin Durant is expected to miss at least 1 week through the team's 3-game road trip with a left ankle sprain. Sources tell ESPN Suns are a game and a half out of play-in with the toughest remaining schedule in the NBA. At least a week. So that means tomorrow's April 1st. So that would be April 7th is a week from today. So what Kevin Durant will absolutely miss no matter what. We know already last night he was going to miss this entire road trip. He is going to miss Tuesday, April 1st at Milwaukee. That's tomorrow night. He's going to miss Friday, April 4th at Boston. He's going to miss Sunday, April 6th at New York at the Knicks. And then what's up in the air is a game a week from tomorrow when they take on Golden State. At least a week means we are not going to see Kevin Durant during this road trip. That doesn't tell us anything new. Golden State is still up in the air, and the 3 games after that, the final 4 games after that, are up in the air. So, was last night the last night we saw Kevin Durant in a Phoenix Suns uniform on the court playing basketball for this team? And I think the answer has to be yes. And the reason why I say it has to be yes is because if he's dealing with this ankle sprain and he's out at least a week, I'm not taking any precautions. I'm not playing for anything. I know I can try to convince myself that I'm only a game and a half out of the play-in spot. I think these 3 games, this 3-game road trip, is going to take care of that conversation. I think when the Suns return home after Sunday, April 6th, they're going to be further out than a game and a half. They could potentially be eliminated by the time we get there. It's not going to be as close as it is right now. So that excuse, you take it off the table. The more important thing is you have to trade Kevin Durant this summer. You have to. It's going to be really tough to trade Bradley Beal if you're able to do it. You're not trading Devin Booker. The one piece you have available to you to move, to try to expedite this reload pivot process so that you don't have to bottom out the way other teams in the NBA do, the way that Matt Ishbia clearly is allergic to trying. Matt Ishbia does not have the appetite to rebuild. Matt Ishbia cannot stand the word rebuild. So they don't want to do that. So your way around it is I got to keep Devin Booker. I have to hit a home run in what I get back for Kevin Durant in a trade. And then I have to nail my draft picks because that's where I'm going to build. And if I can hit some home runs, maybe not home runs, maybe just some doubles and singles in the draft, I'm going to have a deeper, more athletic roster. That's really the thing that's been missing with this team is youth and athleticism and effort level on defense. And if I'm able to do all of that, then it might not be as painful as I expect it to be. But the key part of all of that is you have to trade Kevin Durant. And the last thing I need as the front office of the Phoenix Suns, as Matt Ishbia, the owner of the Phoenix Suns, the last thing I need to have to negotiate and deal with is potentially a Kevin Durant who is injured while I am trying to trade him. I'm shutting him down for the remainder of the season. This is not about making the play-in tournament. With 7 games to go, this is about how do I set myself up for the most amount of success in 2025, 2026, and beyond. That is the only thing I need to be considering right now as an organization. And the last thing I can do is potentially rush back Kevin Durant because I, in my head, have convinced myself that the Suns are still a tough out for everybody and that if the Suns get into the play-in tournament, they could go on a run. So I rush back Kevin Durant maybe a little bit earlier to get him in there for those final 4 games, and he hurts himself even worse. And now I've got teams trying to trade for, or I'm trying to trade, an injured 37-year-old player. I can't negotiate that in the summer. I need to have Kevin Durant with a clean bill of health. There are zero question marks about what the Houston Rockets or Dallas Mavericks or Knicks or Heat or Oklahoma City or Minnesota or whoever else is going to join this. Saw a report this morning, Atlanta was kind of interested. Whoever is going to be in the mix, I don't need those teams having question marks about Kevin Durant's health because he got hurt again rushing back from this ankle sprain. I can't have that on my plate. I can't get a lesser return because Kevin Durant is hurt. I can't not get the right amount of draft picks and the right amount of young players because teams are hesitant about trading for Kevin Durant because he's dealing with a broken ankle or he comes back from the ankle sprain and he hurts something else. He hurts a knee. And now there's potentially surgery involved, and now there's rehab. And don't give other teams a way out. Don't give other teams a built-in excuse to go to their fan base and say, I just couldn't do it. Can't trade for a 37-year-old player who is oft injured and now is dealing with a major injury at this stage of his career. Because if you don't have a trade partner for Kevin Durant, you are in big trouble. Because then you are forced to run this back. You are forced to be handcuffed. Now, I don't expect that to be the case. I expect this team to be able to trade Kevin Durant in the summer. But don't open up other doors for bad possibilities. We've seen what that's looked like this season. Don't invite more trouble in the summer. So last night, a 148-109 loss to the Houston Rockets on Sunday, March 30th. If it was me in charge, that would have been the last game that Kevin Durant played. When I got news that he's hurt and the MRI came back and now he's going to miss at least a week, he's going to miss at least 3 games of the final 7, I'm good. Shut him down. And there's probably part of me deep down, if I'm somebody in that building, that's probably rooting for this 3-game road trip to be 3 losses. So there's not even a debate about bringing Kevin Durant back on that game Tuesday, April 8th, home against Golden State. You don't even need to have the conversation. And you know what? If last night was the end, if last night was the last time we saw Kevin Durant, unfortunately, this is sad to say, isn't it kind of a fitting end for the tenure of Kevin Durant? To go out disappointed, to go out wondering what could have been, wondering what went wrong. That's kind of been the questions we've been asking since Kevin Durant got here. And those are all the questions that we're asking after last night's game. Kevin Durant's tenure, not all his fault. In fact, I don't know how much of it I put on Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant came here and he balled out. And he was still that all-time great player that he was when he was in Brooklyn, that he was when he was in Golden State, in Oklahoma City. He was that player. There were countless number of times where he willed the Suns to victory. He did it just as recently as the other night against Milwaukee, the other night against Cleveland. So you don't have to go that far back to see those types of performances. But Kevin Durant's tenure is going to be remembered for the disappointment that it was. 1 playoff series win, getting swept by Minnesota, then not making the playoffs at all with a payroll north of $400 million, $450 million, not making the playoffs with that much invested in your team. That's what Kevin Durant's Phoenix Suns tenure is going to be remembered for. And so him going out, not playing the final 7 games, and the Phoenix Suns season kind of just fading into obscurity, is kind of par for the course. That's kind of what the entire tenure for Kevin Durant has been. So if it's me, Kevin Durant is shut down. Kevin Durant is not playing at all in those final 4 games of the season. And I am getting to the summer with Kevin Durant having a clean bill of health. And I am getting to a summer where I am able to trade Kevin Durant and nobody has any questions what they are getting in Kevin Durant. And I know that everyone gets access to the medicals and I know everybody can do their own due diligence on all of this. I get it. I don't want teams to have any doubt in wanting to make this trade. I don't want any teams to try to lessen what they give me back in a trade package for Kevin Durant. So I'm not running any risk over those final 4 games because it's not the next 3. He's out for the next 3. It's those final 4 games. I'm not taking any chances. And with the way things are trending, it looks like the Phoenix Suns, who right now sit 1.5 games out of that final spot, they are going to be out of it completely when they come back from that road trip. So Kevin Durant missing at least the next week. The earliest he could return, according to reports from Shams Charania of ESPN, Tuesday, April 8th against Golden State. I think he should be done. I think last night should have been the last time we saw Kevin Durant in a Suns uniform. Not that I wanted that. We obviously want to see Kevin Durant be great, and we would have wanted to see this final 7-game stretch with him on the team. But with the information that we've got, with what's in front of this team, the uphill battle that they face, I'm not taking any chances to ruin future seasons for a year that, let's face it, doesn't matter.